So this week's exercise is a flour sack jumping. And if you want to know how to make it, keep watching. Alright, so this week we're making a flour sack jump. Okay, I didn't want the animation to start off just like a second or two before the jump and then that was it. I kind of wanted to do a little bit more, so I decided to create a scenery, which is just like two simple cliffs. And then the very next, and I decided to make the character, because like I said from the last week, this is simple character animation. I decided to make the character enter into the scene. And how I decided to do that is just a series of small arcs. So for this instance, you can still treat your flour sack like a bouncing ball, except it has a little bit of a top and it has little flaps for feet and things like that. So the first thing I did was I drew the arcs that I wanted the flour sack to follow. After I drew the arcs, I started to roughly time what I wanted the flour sack to do. And then I started to basically just rough out the animation. And after doing the rough timing, I just basically just started going for it as far as like getting the overall feel of how I wanted this animation to look. Now the timing part was tricky because in order to give the appearance that the flour sack was actually thinking and looking before he jumped, I had to create a still, but I used that overlapping action to make his little flaps fall back and make him bend over, so therefore it looked like he was actually thinking and looking about that next jump. And then for anticipation build, I squashed him as much as I could, and then he explodes. One quick tip also, when you're trying to create impact for something to fall and give it weight, put space between, like look how much space is between these poses. As you can see here in the onion skinning, is that there's a lot of space between where he jumps and then where he ultimately ends up falling and smacking the ground. I had to deviate away from my original ending arcs because I thought to myself, well, if he's gonna hit, he's not just gonna hit and stay there. He's gonna hit and bounce a little bit because he's virtually a flour sack ball. But I added a little extra bounce after he fell. And then I went ahead and I altered the arc here so that way it made sense. And before I even made him move from the arc, I decided it would be important that he looks back like he can't believe he just did that jump. And of course, after I felt like the timing was right and I got the effect that I wanted, I went ahead and started cleaning up everything, fixing the scenery, and coloring everything in. After all that, I mean, it took me about, I'd say, maybe an hour tops, which isn't bad considering I ended up using 124 frames, so that's not bad at all. I was moving fairly quickly. So here's my top 3 tips to complete this animation. Make your, first of course, plan out what you want the flour sack to do, because you don't have to make the jump successful. You can actually make him fail the jump if you wish, but plan out your jump. So if you're going to plan it out in Flash, you can do that. Or if you want to plan it out on pencil and paper, you can do that. But plan out your jump, draw your arcs, do your very stiff posing and rough timing. So basically your stiff posing, that's just where you want him to end at the end of each jump and what you basically want him to do. Now it's going to look stiff, so it's going to basically look like an animatic. Comment below if you don't know what an animatic is, and I'll go over that in another video. Rough in-betweens, which means basically you're just getting down the overall motion between the jumps and then just smooth out that timing so that way you get that fluid motion. And that's it, then you're done. So this jump was a success, I would say. Very easy, very fun. I had very few hiccups when it came to this jump. So I want you guys to definitely give it a try and definitely let me know how it goes. Did you sail through this one just as easy as you did the last one, or did you have a little bit of extra trouble? Did you decide to do something different with your flour sack jumping? Did you decide to make it fail? Let me know. So tune in next week. Please like and subscribe and check me out next week. Thanks, guys.